Hello everybody and welcome to another reaction video on Peace Beats with Dan Blackwell. Today we are getting into a Dimash music video called Screaming. I've never heard it before and it's always fun to get into Dimash's music videos to kind of get that different side of his creativity where he gets, more involved in the visuals and, the whole concept behind the song and bringing that song to life, through the medium of music video. If you enjoy my reaction videos, hit the subscribe button, and if you'd like access to all of my videos, many of which are no longer on YouTube for copyright or whatever it may be, you can join my Patreon for only $1 a month. So without further ado, let's jump in and check this out. Dimash Screaming.
I feel it trying to turn my heart into stone. Put up resistance to me, so I let you go. Oh, but the love inside just won't subside. They can't stay far from you. Raise me from the same sin that I'm fighting to believe you remember me. I'm screaming why can't you hear me? I'm screaming why can't you feel me? I'm screaming inside.
Wow. This is really cool. And you never know what Dimash kind of voice you're going to get, ever. You never know if it's going to be low on operatic or if it's going to be high falsetto. Is it going to be, Kazakh folk style or, many, many voices from within Dimash. I see this as Dimash's sort of like mid kind of like, maybe possibly sort of his most natural, in a sense, voice that he's kind of utilizing here, as in it's not that any of his other styles aren't naturally him, but it's like he's not employing vocal techniques that sort of change his voice so much. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're just getting a very kind of pure Dimash here, and I think that's very nice for this song because it's a very from the heart, heartfelt sort of ballad, and it's it really hits, and it has that kind of emotional weight behind it. I love the visuals as well. I love the kind of, he's got this sort of sparkly jacket and he's kind of interspersed with the stars, and it's kind of gives you that feeling of like screaming to the sky, you know what I mean? Like just like this catharsis of letting something out. He has just a truly beautiful voice, doesn't he? And yeah, I'm intrigued to see where we're kind of going musically throughout this song. We've kind of started out in a more standard song structure, coming in with a little introduction, verse into chorus. I think we're going to get a little post-chorus here now. And I have a feeling that we're going to kind of crescendo and kind of grow and grow throughout this. It's going to build and build and get bigger. Let's find out.
Why can't you hear me? I'm screaming why can't you feel me? I'm screaming inside. Yeah, yeah, I'm screaming inside. Yeah, yeah.
Wow. This is definitely the most pop Dimash I've ever heard. And again, as well as his many kind of vocal styles, Dimash is also so versatile in terms of genre that anything can come out. A Dimash music video is coming out. What could it be? It could be this soulful track. It could be very classical. It could be operatic. It could be pop. It could be rock. It could have rap in it, you know. And it's that versatility that makes Dimash so exciting. Did you hear those falsetto backing vocals coming in? They weren't just like standard harmonies or anything. It was very creative. He was going off on some quite sort of intricate, fast-moving melodies there that were really sort of intertwined with the musical arrangement behind it. Let's see if we can catch that again. Yeah, hearing that again, it's as if Dimash is using his voice less of a backing vocal or production texture, more of an instrument. He's playing the part of a violin here. He's on that register and he's singing what a violin would play. And it starts this kind of legato into shorter notes, but like sort of long bowed, and then into this kind of staccato section here. There's up, 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 up. And that's so interesting how Dimash kind of uses his voice when it comes to songwriting and when it comes to music production. When we hear these produced singles, you know, in the music videos, we get to see Dimash kind of use his voice in ways that are very different to how he would live, you know, because you have that freedom in the studio to just add as many or as little vocals as you like. You can kind of do whatever you like with it. You're not constrained in any way by the sort of reality of having to perform it. You can just layer it up and do what you like. And he's kind of holding back a bit so far here. We've only had his main vocal and then this other line come in. But it's the creativity which he sort of employs with his voice to do something just very, very, very different from what you would expect.
I made mistakes and hurt you in a lot of ways. And no forgiveness forces you to punish me. Ooh, such a gruesome sin is your blade of speech that says every part of me. But the only thing that can sing for me is love for the world to see. I'm screaming.
There's a very nice low vocal in there, and I'm not sure if it's actually a kind of harmonizer. It sounds, or he's recorded it and they've kind of rolled off the high-end EQ to just look a little bit more like that, you know, a little bit sort of from another room, but it just nicely sits behind his lead vocal and really just kind of adds some warmth to the lead line. These melodies, they're so good, and a lot of time has been put into each one. There's no filler melody. There's no like, oh, we'll just sort of get through the verse so we can get back into the chorus, you know, because that's often a problem when you're writing a song. Is maybe you start with an amazing chorus and you go, okay, how can we make the verse keep up with this? How can we make the verse as strong as the chorus is when you have an amazing hook, you know? And he's absolutely nailed that here. And alternatively, sometimes the case can be you start out with a great verse and it's like, oh, I can't get the chorus to lift in the way it does. I'd be interested to know with the writing process of this song, like what came first, you know, the chorus or the verse, you know, what was the process of writing this?
But the only thing that can sing for me is love for the world to see. I'm screaming, why can't you hear me? I'm screaming, I can't you feel me? I'm screaming inside. Don't let us say go away everything. No, I know there's way to face us, baby. I know it's difficult, but can we try once more and get this right this time? I'm screaming. Why can't you hear me? I'm screaming. Why can't you feel me? I'm screaming inside. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, hold on. I mean, it just it just escalates and escalates, doesn't it? Because he's displaying all of his different voices here more and more, and he's going up and up and up, and it's always at that point where you're like, okay, I think he's sort of reached the pinnacle here of what he's adding in terms of the extra vocals. And then he goes and does something else. That little staccato run there was insane, and I don't know how he gets the ideas to come out with these melodies. Like, I feel like he just riffs them, like they just come straight out of him, like just gets on the mic and goes, okay, I'm just gonna play around here, and straight away just this magic comes out. It would be amazing to work in the studio with Dimash and just to fully like see what his process is in the studio. I think it would be very, very unique and very kind of special. Like, I can't imagine it would be like working with anybody else in the world.
Why can't you hear me? I'm screaming. Why can't you feel me? I'm screaming inside. Yeah, yeah. I'm screaming inside. Yeah, yeah. I'm screaming inside.
Wow. This song is just another perfect example of how Dimash uses his voice as an instrument and isn't limited to thinking of it as just a vocal. Like, he's able to sort of emulate, embody these organic instruments. Like, again, going like high violin, but it's not just that he's kind of singing in the same register as a violin, like far up on the neck, like the higher registers. It's it's the choice of notes and the use of vibrato and the way he puts it together. It really, it's like he's thinking like a violin. You know what I mean? It's as if you had a violin player come in, play something, and then he kind of did a call back to that. Like kind of repeated or echoed what the violin was doing. But I'm almost certain that this came straight from Dimash's mind and came out of him naturally, which is just, as I say, it's just so unique. It's so interesting. Such an interesting musician. And I think the thing is, all musicians are different, and there are certain sort of standardized ways of kind of doing things and thinking, but the way the way we kind of write music is very personal, and some people just kind of like, it just comes out of them. They're like great improvisers. Some people, they hear it in their head. They just like hear the melody or hear the chord progression, and then they just recreate it. That's very much my process when I'm writing. I will hear a melody in my head and then figure out what that melody is on guitar or piano or whatever on the computer, of like what I'm hearing. But it's sort of starting in here, and then I have to kind of try and translate it. And some people, it's very theoretical. It's they sit and work out what would be a nice interval to go through from here. Maybe let's change that and move that around. Let's make a jazz interval and see how that sounds. You know, so everybody has such a different process, and I'm I'm so fascinated by Dimash's unique process, because I imagine it's kind of all of the above in a way. I think I imagine he's hearing melodies in his head, but they're coming out of him straight away. He's able to just convert the notes just straight out, and there it is. And then I think he is also then playing around and experimenting with how can I then change that? Could it be improved? And you know, it's, yeah, as I say, it's very curious. It's very, very interesting. I loved that one. So thank you so much for requesting it. This one was requested over my Buy Me a Coffee, and thank you again for that. If you'd like to make a request from yourself, I'll put the link in the description and the comments. Anything at all is greatly appreciated. If you enjoy my reactions, do hit subscribe. Be sure to like, share, comment. Let me know what you thought of this reaction video. Let me know what you thought of this song and what you think of Dimash and his unique writing ability and how he kind of writes these beautiful songs. I'd be very interested to talk to you about it. As always, everybody, take care. Peace and love.